Hello there and welcome to a new video. What we're going to do today is to visit a waterfall. So I got my rubber boots on and it's raining right now, so I'm kind of waiting for that to lighten up a little bit and then we'll get going. Well, it seems like it's lightened up enough. Oh. Bam. Let's see what we can find. I completely misjudged the amount of water. I was going to be in the waterfall. It's barely any water at all. But we might get something out of it, maybe. Gonna have to work it and see. At least the black rock is interesting. And we have lovely green moss and green growth on the side, so maybe. It's not what I thought I would find. This is gonna be difficult. So the first thing that I'm looking for now is somewhere to anchor the image. So the overall scene here is actually kind of interesting. This green moss that we have is looking really pretty. And we have this black rock with the water flowing within it. Only that it isn't that much water, as you can see here. Not much water at all. But what I'm looking for here is somewhere to anchor the image. This is the scene. So I need to focus in on something, like one small element of this, narrow it down, because I don't want to include this on the side there, nor that on the side there. I just want to narrow in on the interesting part, and I need to find the interesting part within this whole waterfall that can act as an anchor for the image to make it, or give the viewer a first place to rest their eyes, basically. So that's what we're going to try to do. Looking at the scene from the side here, it becomes really unbalanced. So I need to be more straight on, in a sense. If I get further back, I can compress it a bit more. And that seems to help a little bit. But I'm not finding anything that is too interesting. I found something. I found something indeed. And I'd say that I found a micro scene within the scene. And it's actually really beautiful. So let me show you what I have found. As you can see here, it's a really small scene. And I'm focusing in just on this little waterfall, the top part of that, and I have one little waterfall in the background there, as you can see. One in the background there, and then one in the foreground there. And then we have this nice little green leaf growing thingy right there in the middle. The only thing I don't really like is this brown thing in the background there. So I'm gonna try to climb up perhaps and try to see if I can't remove it. Oh, and yes, streams are always known to be very secure things to hike up. Let's see. Can I do this, or am I going to destroy everything by doing it? It is kind of... I am disturbing the moss a little bit by doing this, but I think the end result is going to be more in line with what I want from the scene, and easier to touch up in Photoshop than it would be with all this brown things that we had. Ferns, they are dead ferns. So yeah, something like that, a little bit of cleanup. Ooh. I didn't really like this little branch here either, so let's remove that. It doesn't really take all that long time to do the cleanup in field, and it can save you actually a lot of time in Photoshop doing it like this. And sometimes you can save an image, since it could be too complex for Photoshop to fix it with cloning or healing brush or anything like that. So yeah, I think this is going to be a lot better. You've seen the result all the time that I did it, so you know. I haven't seen it yet. So let's see. Yeah, that definitely helped. So, as you can see, I'm gonna stop down this quite a bit to let you see. On the video right now, I'm at f38. You can see even that wouldn't be enough of an aperture to get everything in focus. So I'm gonna have to focus bracket this one way or another. I'm gonna have to focus bracket this. So let's do that. So first things first, I think a polarizer is going to work wonders on this scene. And indeed it is. Can you see the difference there? Just removing so much of the glare that we're having otherwise, and enhancing the greens. So let's see, if I'm looking at the scene with my eyes instead of just looking at the display, I can see that this point is the point that is closest to me. So what I'm going to do is that I'm going to put my focus point there and see how the exposure looks. I'm probably going to put it at f16 and let's try that first. So focus there, then let's just grab an image, see how it looks. So an 8-second exposure first there. Might be a bit too smooth in the water actually. So let's go up to ISO 400, which gives us half a second, and try again just to see how it looks. So I like the longer shutter speed for the water within the pond, or whatever we should call it, but the shorter shutter speed is better for the flowing water, I think. In the background here, I probably want an even longer or shorter shutter speed. So then I would have to kind of stop down. And everything that I'm doing right now is basically experimental, just to see what I want. So if I go down to something like 6.3, just to get an inkling of how something faster looks. It's still pretty slow, but it gives a lot more texture here in the fall there, if you can see. And since I'm actually liking it a little bit faster here, since the water is so small, and it gives a little bit more texture and interest to the water. What I'm gonna do is probably do a stack on a slower shutter speed and a medium shutter speed, and then do a stack on a faster shutter speed as well. So probably going up to something like ISO 1600, just to kind of see how that looks. If we compare that, you can see then now we start to get the real texture of the water. And I'm really liking that for the falling water. And that is at 1/45th of a second. So I'm gonna keep experimenting a bit, doing a few image stacks throughout this scene. And the way that I'm doing it, I'm not using exposure delay, but I'm going out onto focus shift, which is a feature on high-end Nikons, and then just starting it basically. I'm having the self-timer gauge, I can't start it right now, but basically just clicking start there, and it just runs through everything, and I don't have to really think about it at all, which is really nice. I'm just running the last focus bracket right now, and that is with a 15th of a second. No, it is on 15 seconds at f/22 and ISO at low 1, so that is 32 ISO. Just to get really long shutter speed for that pool of water that was in the middle there. And then as soon as that is done, I'm gonna pack up, because there are coming a lot of insects. The negative part of summer, that is. It should be done soon. So that's it. If you enjoyed this video, then give it a like, leave a comment if you have any questions, subscribe if you want to see more, or check out my other videos on my channel. I have tons of videos on my channel already if you want to see more. Other than that, well, I'll see you all next time. Goodbye.